Everyone, my name is Cierra Edwards and I'm doing the animation project, and this is my client presentation. So the purpose and goal, the project goal is to show the design and animation process learned in the past 7 weeks of this course with skills and tools used in Autodesk Maya. And the inspiration formed when I was actually watching an animated robot movie with my 1-year-old son. The goal was to have a simple robot character surrounded by a modern futuristic look environment. I did have to make alterations to my sketches and my ideas. So the 3D mesh character, up here we have my sketch that I did and I put it on the plane grid. And then I really, because I don't have a lot of knowledge with Autodesk Maya, this is my first time using it, I really wanted to focus on the basic shapes and build off of that. So I started with the sketch, I placed it on the plane grid, and then I used the poly modeling shapes in the Autodesk Maya to form just the simple basic shapes right here. Refining the character mesh, I added the shading, I added finer details to the characters such as the eyes, the ears, an antenna, little details like that. But I used the poly modeling shapes on top of the poly modeling shapes. So I just kept layering them. And then to create the environment, I really used the modifications to the poly modeling shape. And then I used the modeling menu setting. And then within that, there's the mesh tools at the top. When I clicked that, it said I could create a polygon, and that usually can create a unique shape. So I was able to create vectors for the stairs, and it just created a standard line vector. And then with the blend setting, I was able to expand it into a more three-dimensional shape. So with the textures, colors, and shading of that week, I really went into the blend menu and I used the transparency. I wanted this to focus more on like a glass feature. So I used the transparency. I brought that down. I brought the percentage down. I did a transparent depth, which actually helped with the shading. And then I changed the color to more of a blue hue. So that really kind of created that glass feature. And then to create more of the environment that I'll show you in the final stage in the next slide, I duplicated the staircase, I added a bridge, and with that same process I also altered the attributes. So within that, this is what it came out to it. And see here I have two staircases leading up to a bridge. I changed the color so it kind of gave more depth in the overall scenery. And then with the wall, I actually had fun with this one. In the blend setting, you can go into a feature where you can add your own pictures with textures, or they have pre-made textures. I actually used the wave texture, and I was able to altercate the attributes into that. So I was able to change the depth of the waves, how close the spacing was, and I was actually able to change the color. So this is what I came up with, and I think it was really fun for me to learn the different types of tools in the Autodesk Maya. Another thing we learned was the animated ball sequence. I did have a little trouble with this one, but it was a lot of fun. Learning the graph editor, I was able to change the speed, the height, anything that was more in-depth for the transformation of the sequence of the animation for the ball. So this is what it came out to be. I think I would have made it a little bit more at the end. You can kind of see it toggle off. So I was just really struggling at the end, but you could see at the bottom right here, this is the first step where we had to do the timestamps, and then that's where I was able to altercate more of the movement of the ball. I hope you guys enjoyed this.